Hello guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. Donella here if you just so happen to be stopping by for the very first time and you are wondering, well, who is this girl in front of me talking? Well, my name is Donella and this is my little world of makeup right here. Now, as I would have announced in my Insta stories about a week ago, I think it would have been just last week, I did tell you guys that I'm filming something, but I know it's going to be extremely long, so I decided to split it up into 3 parts. This is part 1 that you're currently watching right here. So tomorrow I'm going to upload part 2, and then the following day I'm going to upload part 3. So hopefully that you guys enjoy this tutorial. You guys can, give me a little breather, because I really wanted to make up for the 3 weeks that I didn't upload, and I figured, this was more so of a chitty chat type of tutorial, and I really went sort of in depth with my foundation routine. I actually also filmed eyeshadow routine. You guys know I haven't done eyeshadow tutorials in like forever, because I pretty much do the same thing. Like I use the same colors or whatever all the time. However, for this this part 3, like 3-part video I should say, I did actually film the eye look by itself and show you guys, step by step all the different colors that I use to create this look. And then I went into this part is actually showing you guys my foundation routine, and at the last leg of this video I'm going to be discussing a few things, products that I've been using throughout the summer months, things that I've been trying out. You guys know I've been testing out a whole bunch of setting sprays. So at the last leg, which means it's part 3 of this video, so you have to watch part 1, part 2, and then part 3. I'm also going to be discussing a few of the setting sprays that I've been using throughout the summer months, those that worked for me, of course, because I went through a whole bunch of them, and I feel like, because I have oily skin, like there are certain ingredients that I have to look for in terms of setting sprays and what actually works for me. So if you guys are interested in learning a thing here or two, please stay tuned for part 1 of this video. Change the position of the lighting, and it's really because this is really more so of an intimate type of tutorial. I'm giving you guys a little tips here and there of what I do while we're still doing our makeup in a more intimate setting. You know what I mean? You're so close to my pores, and the fact that I have a tanner on my nose that you could see everything right now. You could see literally everything. You could even see if I have a little bit of avocado in my teeth right now, because just at peace just now before I started this video. Just saying, if you see a little piece in there, never mind that, because I just told you I ate peace, okay? So let's move on. Since the summer started, I've kind of changed up my makeup routine. I pretty much kind of try new things every year whenever summertime comes around, because it's just extremely hot. And honestly, here's a big secret. I'm guessing a lot of people don't really know this, and people kind of try to be like, oh my god, I'm sweating off my makeup and blah blah blah. Here's a big secret. We are human beings, we all have pores, we all sweat. So the issue here is not about sweating. The issue here is basically creating a routine that fits your skin type, that's going to allow your makeup to hold up through this purgatory heat that we have going on here. Because we got some kind of heat out of this. This is like a damn heat wave. I'm surprised nobody even died yet from walking this damn heat, including me. But my skin, as you guys just saw me use the NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh 8-hour hydration multitasking spray. Listen, can we get some shots of me for these things? And as you guys can see, right, I have been indulging in this like since the summer began. There is something about this Bear With Me multitasking spray that just allows my skin to kind of just, how should I describe it? It actually dries down to this sort of like sticky effect, and it kind of reminds me of my Milk Makeup the Milk Makeup primer. I know it's a very long name, but you guys know what I mean. The Milk Makeup primer. This is actually it in a bottle. It dries down to this kind of tacky feeling, so I love using it just before I apply my primer. And one of my favorite primer that I've been using throughout the whole summer is this baby right here from Fenty, and it's nothing new. Everybody knew about Fenty products since they launched, but this one, the Instant Retouch Primer, whenever I get my face ready to apply my makeup, and I use both the Bear With Me multitasking spray and the Fenty Pro Filter primer. There is something about those two combinations that just allows my makeup to just do some really good things in terms of making my makeup last throughout the course of the day. So I'm really going to just press that in. I love to kind of just spread it up. Okay, something going on here. Okay. Had some on the tip of my finger. I love to just spread it across my face, and then afterward I just love to use the tip of my fingers to basically press those products in there. And then, even though I use the Fenty primer over the NYX multitasking spray, I still have that tacky feeling, which is what I really want, because I have oily skin and I want my makeup to grab onto my skin. Yes, I need that clutch. I need that iron fist, because I need it to last throughout the course of the day. Now, normally I would allow the setting spray, or the multitasking spray I should say, and the Fenty primer to kind of dry down, and during that time I love to go in and just do my eyebrows. So I'm going to do my eyebrows real quick off camera, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I am back and my eyebrows are now on, well, filled in I should say, not like they went anywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, before I actually go into the actual foundation application, I'm going to take this NYX concealer pot. This one is in the shade Cappuccino, and I'm just going to lightly cover that tan that I have on my nose. Now, this is something that I've been doing throughout the summer, throughout those hot summer days, because I've been wearing so many shades trying to protect my eyes that I ended up with this hell of a tan right there. So I normally just put that NYX concealer right there to kind of balance out the little discoloration that I have right there from the tan. So that's it, and I'm done with this concealer. Normally just go in with whatever foundation I feel like using on that particular day. For this day, I feel like, you know, being all luxurious and all, so I'm going to be using my Fenty Pro Filter foundation in the shade 430, and I normally just go in with, this is 1 pump and this is a half of a pump, so like 1.5 pump. And then I normally just tap little dots all over my face, and I really want to stay focused in the on the left and the right side in particular. And I just normally add just a little bit right here, and I try not to add too much to my forehead area, because I sweat a lot in this area right here on my nose and right here just above my cupid's bow. So I like to apply the foundation in the rest of the areas I know I don't sweat too much, and kind of allow the areas where I sweat a lot to kind of breathe. So I'm only going to put that amount on my face, and then I'm going to take my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I'm going to start off by actually getting the rest of the excess foundation off of my skin, and then here's where I go in with blending out my foundation. For me to get my foundation to last throughout an 8-hour day, the best thing for me to do is to actually press that foundation into my skin. And I completely forgot that this foundation kind of dries down real quick, because it is a matte foundation. So I'm just going to go around real quick and blend all of that out by pressing it into my skin. Now, I'm not saying for you to just, you know, press it so hard into your face or eat in your face real hard, but press it enough that it allows the foundation to actually blend. And if you see, like for instance, I kind of stayed too long to blend this foundation out, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of circular motions in the areas where I see the spots still showing where I applied the foundation, and then I go in once more and just press it into my skin. And I always leave my forehead for last, because that's the area where I apply the least amount of foundation. That step is completed. This next step might seem a little bit strange to you, but what I'm going to do next is go in with the same NYX multitasking spray, and I'm going to go over my face and spray the areas where I applied my foundation, which is of course all over my face. And what this does is that it reactivates the foundation, the formula, and then what I'm going to do is basically allow it to lift, and then I'm going to press the foundation back into my skin. And I realize whenever I do this, this actually allows the foundation to adhere even more to the primer and the multitasking spray that I applied just before I applied my foundation. Method I'm doing right now, I noticed that it actually allows my foundation to last throughout the course of the day. I said earlier in the beginning of this video that makeup is not magic, but there are tips and tricks and routines that we can do to allow our makeup to last throughout the course of an 8-hour day. So I realize whenever I do this, like whenever I lift my foundation or whenever I reactivate my foundation with a multitasking set spray, well, that one in particular, that it allows my makeup to kind of lift and then adheres to my skin and the primer and everything that I put on my face before to prep my skin, and then it just lasts. Like my makeup just looks nice and fresh. And of course I'm going to see a little sweat breakthrough here and there. It's perfectly natural for you to sweat, but the main thing is that it allows my makeup to last throughout the course of the day. It's like with the foundation, you really don't want to apply a whole ton of concealer to your face during these hot days. The main purpose is for you to conceal your under eye darkness if you have some, and to highlight the areas where you want highlighted with your concealer. So I'm really just going to go in with little dots around the areas where I want highlighted and concealed, and then of course I'm just going to go in and blend. This routine of course doesn't change. It's the same thing. The only thing is that I have a little tan right here, so I go in with a little extra concealer just to make sure that part is concealed. And then I'm going to go in with my Juno sponge and just blend that out. You guys already know this routine. Just gonna blend this out. Another trick comes in now. I try as much as possible not to apply too much creamy product in this area right here, because I'm sure a lot of us is familiar with that shades dent that we get in our makeup whenever, you know, those of us who wear shades during the hot months, or just those of us who wear shades on a regular everyday basis. We are all familiar with that dent that we get right here whenever we wear some sunshades during the course of the day and we are wearing makeup. We are all familiar with that makeup dent. So what I do is that I try as much as possible not to apply too much creamy product in this area right here. I know I've already covered the little nose tan with the NYX concealer. So what I'm just going to do here is just basically blend out the concealer in the areas where I applied it, and try to just leave that area there vacant for the next step what I'm about to show you. For this next step, I would advise you to pay real close attention to what I'm about to do. I'm using my Fenty Instant Retouch Powder in the shade Banana. This next step, I'm going to start off by setting my nose. Yes, I said it, my nose. Now, the area where I would have applied the NYX concealer, I'm going to actually tap that area with my Fenty Instant Retouch Powder. Now, this is the only powder that I know for a fact, for a fact, when I pronounce my T, for a fact, would actually keep this area right here nice and dry and matte, which is kind of why it's called an instant retouch powder. It's like a multitasking powder. It does so many different things, and I feel like I discovered a whole new set of uses for this powder during the summer months. I feel like I discovered a whole different set of uses for it. I'm telling you, I just used to use it as a regular translucent powder, you know, to set my under eye concealer, but I realized this is probably one of the best touch-up powders that I own. Like, seriously, like, this is magic. I don't even want to say magic, but this is like close to magic. And you guys already know I don't really bake. I normally just use my translucent powders that I apply to set my under eye concealer, and then I press that baby into my skin. Now, this one of course is the banana powder, which is a little bit lighter for my skin's complexion, and the reason why I'm using this one is because well, during the Culturama festivities, I guess somebody loved my honey shade more than I did, so they just took it. So all I have left right now until I place another order is the banana powder, which of course, you know, it does the same thing. It's the same company, same Fenty, just that you guys know that the honey is a little bit more yellow, which is going to be much better in terms which is going to be much better for someone, you know, my complexion. And then I'm just going to add it looks a little crazy right now because I'm allowing the powder to actually set on my nose bridge area right here, because in this area right here, I actually get that shades dent, you know, that shades dent that we are all familiar with. So I love to just press the Fenty Instant Retouch powder in this area right here, because it allows that area right there to kind of stay, I don't want to say stay matte fully, but it allows it actually reduces that print. You're gonna see the print, especially if you're somebody like me who has oily skin, but what it does is that it actually reduces the appearance of it. Like if you would normally see like a whole big area right there with a whole print right there, what it does, this instant retouch powder, and I can't attest to any other powder because I've tried it with my Sasha, I've tried it with my Maybelline, I've tried it with my Beauty Bakery, I've tried it with my NYX powder, I've tried it with my ColourPop powder. None of them gave me the results that this powder right here gave me. This is like almost close to magic in a bottle. So I'm just going to blend out the rest of this translucent powder that I applied to my face. I actually need to apply some right here as well. And after we blended all of that instant retouch powder that smells so good on our skin, then I'm going to go in with my primer from the sorry, it's not primer, this is a bronzer from the Prime Beauty. This one is in the shade bronze. Ooh, my brush is wet. Why are you wet, girl? All right, we have a dry one here, so I'm going to go in with my bronzer from the Prime Beauty. I'm just going to hit the areas around the perimeter of my face. I want to look nice and chiseled and bronzed. Now during the summer months, I kind of just skip the whole creamy contour thing because I feel like it's a bit much, and of course, you know, it's the summer months and the place is hot, and you really want to just try to reduce the amount of makeup that you apply to your skin on a daily basis, because number one, hey, like I said, you're gonna sweat, especially somebody like me who suffers from oily skin. I sweat a lot, so I try to incorporate more powders than cream products. So I skip the creamy contour product and just stick to a bronzer during these hot summer months. So you can go in as heavy as you want with your contour. It's all about your preference. For me, this is good. I don't need to go in any heavier than this. And then I'm just going to move on to the next step. And you guys know it's summertime, so you can go ahead and just play up with whatever products that you want to apply to your face in terms of adding a bit of color. I'm just going to use the same one that you guys have seen me use in a couple of tutorials on my channel. Is this creamy, ooh, I think I went in a little heavy right there. I may have to blend out some of this. This creamy BH Cosmetics blush, and this was from the Ashley Tisdale collaboration that they did. And I'm actually going to take the same brush that I use the same brush that I used to apply my bronzer and blend out some of that, because I think that's a little bit too heavy. Yeah, a little bit too heavy for me, girl. But this is a hot pink. This is a really hot pink. You have to go in stages with this baby. All right, so we have our foundation on, we have our concealer on, we packed on a bit of powder over our face. So let's move on to the next stage and add a little bit of glow. My glow up, I'm going to be incorporating two highlights for this look. To go in with my NARS highlights. This one is in the shade Orgasm, very orgasmic. And then I'm going to go over that with one of my Artist Couture mini highlight, well, I should say Diamond Glow powders. And this one is in the shade Illuminati. So I'm just going to go in with Orgasm first. Now, Orgasm is like a really natural, radiant pink shade, and it's really one of those highlights that you can use like as an everyday highlight, because it's not really too overpowering and it's not really all that popping. Let me not say all that popping. It's not like super intensely bright like most highlights. It just gives a nice, soft, subtle glow. And I love incorporating this into my everyday makeup looks, because it's just like like a daytime highlight, if there's actually such a thing, daytime highlight. And then I'm going to go in with Illuminati just right over the Orgasm, just to help to give it a little bit more brightness. So you guys see, it's not really that overpowering. Just a nice natural glow to your skin. Just going to add a little bit just right there, just like that. I'm just going to add some highlight on the other side, and we're good to go. To that, I'm going to go in with a mini cotton pad. Should I call it a pad? I don't even know. It's one of those little applicators that you would find in the stores, and I bought like a whole bunch of these during the summer months. Next is go in with my black opal velvet finishing powder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this powder directly below my contour and my highlight, and I'm actually just going to keep pressing that powder into my skin, because you guys know, yeah, I have oily skin, so I try to incorporate more powders into my summer foundation routine basically. So I'm going to do that same thing right here and around my mouth area. I had to bring my face down a little bit so you guys could see. I'm just going to keep adding the black opal powder to the areas that I know for sure that I want to just try to keep it as matte as possible, because yeah, I sweat a lot. Like, I have oily skin, so I sweat a lot. And then I'm just going to go over my same nose bridge where I applied the Fenty powder and just add a little bit more security in that area basically, and then just kind of tap over the rest of my face with the black opal velvet finishing powder. Yeah, it's a lot, it's a hell of a routine, but guess what, it helps my makeup to last throughout the course of the day. Now of course you guys are gonna see that little powder residue on your face, so here's where we go in with a little bit more setting spray, and then we're gonna go in once again with the NYX Bear With Me multitasking spray, and I'm just going to spray it lightly just below this area, especially where I applied most of the black opal powder, and right here at the top of my forehead. Not necessarily in this area right here, but more so on the outer perimeter of my face. And then I'm going to go in with my Juno sponge and take the flat butt area of it and just press that, spreading that, and just not just expressing and just press that set and just press that setting spray into the black opal finishing powder, just like that, just like that. Yeah, it's a lot, but trust me, when you're done, well, I've tried it many times, and I feel that my makeup holds up real good whenever I do this very long routine. I mean, while I'm talking it through, it seems like it's very long. I can just do whoop whop bam and I'm done. But because I'm talking you guys through the steps, it's going to take me much longer. I completed this very long foundation routine. It's time for me to create something on my eyes. Yes, I can actually see a little bit more warmth to my face now that I added that second coat of the multitasking setting spray. So I'm going to talk you guys through an eye look that I just want to create. It's summertime, so I want to create something with a little bit more color. You guys know I'm a nudist in terms of makeup. You know, let's not get any funny ideas here. Talk you guys through something fun and colorful I want to create on my eyes. And yeah, let's just get through this video because we already know it's very lengthy. All right guys, so we've come to the end of part 1 of this video. Don't forget, like I said at the beginning of this video, that I decided to break this video into 3 parts, and I'm going to be uploading them one day after the other. So look out for part 2 of this video in tomorrow's upload. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I really do appreciate you, those of you who continue to be subscribed to my channel. And please, like I said before, look out for part 2 of this video tomorrow. Bye bye.